The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven. Here at least we shall be free. The Almighty hath not built here, for his envy will not drive us hence. Here we may reign secure, and in my choice. To reign is worth ambition, though in hell. Better to reign in hell than to serve in heaven. That is the postmodern creed, without a doubt, written by John Milton 357 years ago, placing such pervasive words in the mouth of Satan, the enemy of humanity and the antithesis of truth. You might ask, how is it that these words are so widespread? How are these words pervasive? I've never said better to reign in hell, nor have I ever said the mind is its own place, let alone that it's better to reign in hell than to serve in heaven. That may very well be true, but we have echoed the spirit of those words. We have uttered things like, you do you, or whatever floats your boat. Or perhaps you may have heard the much more philosophical but pervasive theory of your truth and my truth, of subjective reality. Fundamentally, it is a common belief that one can't say anything is better than anything else. There is no such thing as a hierarchy of importance. Self-care, an all-important term as well now, can be scrolling through TikTok, it can be going to the gym, it can be reading, it can be writing, it can be running, exercising, and we can't condemn that behavior because it is their truth. Whatever man, you do you is the banner that we all fly. We all believe that whatever we want to be true is true. So whatever one thinks is truth is the truth for them. That is the axiom of the argument, because reality does not exist unless you ascribe to the postmodern notion, whereupon you can erase reality, turning whatever your circumstances are into a paradise, because it's your world that is heaven, and my world that is hell. Hence, one can turn any hell into a heaven, or more likely, any heaven into a hell. We're going to talk about a lot of different things today. We're going to talk about Nietzsche a lot, and why I especially don't like him. But we must start with Nietzsche, even though we will eventually backtrack a little bit. Nietzsche is an interesting philosopher. He's an interesting man, though he is very often wrong about very much. Nevertheless, we start with Nietzsche because his ideas are the most common, the most pervasive. Everybody knows who Friedrich Nietzsche is, and most people believe that he says important and true things, and good things, things to reflect upon, and things to consider. And that's not wrong. So we're going to start with a little bit of a biography of who Nietzsche was. I have a strained relationship with Nietzsche. He is a terrible concluder. Everything he concludes, I would tentatively, or even full out, disagree with. However, the manner in which he explains his ideas, the manner in which he goes through his ideas are quite profound. The manner to which he arrives is very interesting. He is truly a great philosopher, and philosophy meaning, of course, the lover of wisdom. Although all of his wisdom and his philosophizing is rather foolish. In his eyes, he is a profound sufferer. And truly, he did suffer some terrible things. But he is a terrible acquirer of truth, which is ultimately the most important part of being a philosopher, is a coming to the truth. But he never gets to the truth because he doesn't believe in the truth fundamentally. However, born in 1844 on October 5th, near Raaken, Prussia, near Leipzig, he was born to a Lutheran minister who would die a few years later. Nietzsche grew up in a household full of women, his mother, grandmother, sister, and aunts. It is ironic that throughout his life, he would fail to acquire that companionship of a female with which he so often strove for. He was unable to speak to women. It was a curse throughout his life that every woman he fell in love with essentially rejected him. In fact, it actually might be that lack of male companionship in his early years that prevented him from acquiring the love of a woman.